समज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितां येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्ति। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ब्रखभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। So we have discussed some of the symptoms of this age. There is a long list of other symptoms. We have summarily discussed some of the symptoms for the last 2 days, and again we are going to the Krishna conscious movement of the boy Prahlad, who was teaching or agitating his class fellows to become Krishna conscious. So far the symptoms of this age concerned, it will gradually deteriorate. Gradually. We have got experience also, practical. Things are moving very rapidly towards worse, not towards best. Things are moving very rapidly. This is the symptom of this age. So our program is that they are trying to adjust things. Things cannot be adjusted unless we stand on the spiritual platform. Because the actual necessity is the spiritual demand. The best example is your country. Materially, you are so much advanced. No other country can be compared. But a section of younger generation, they feel frustrated, confused. Why? They are brought up very nicely, the government system is very nice, they can get education, everything is complete. But still, they are not happy. They are finding something else which will make them happy. Why? This is spiritual demand. Just like this child cannot express what is the trouble Maybe some ant is there within the bedding and it is cutting on his delicate body, but she cannot express what is the actual trouble. Cry, expression of difficulty. So this frustration, confusion is expression of spiritual unhealthiness. Because actually you are spirit, that we do not know. Suppose you have got a very nice coat, and within that coat you are actually, so far we are concerned at the present moment. Now, if you simply take care of the coat and shirt, and if you don't take care of your actual person, how long you can become happy? You will feel so much inconvenient, even if you have got a very nice coat. Similarly, this body, this gross body, is just like our coat. I am actually spiritual spark. This body is gross outward covering, and there is inward covering, mind, intelligence and ego. That is my shirt, the shirt and coat. And within the shirt and coat actually are there. Dehinasmin jatha dehi kaumara jovana jada tatha dehantaram prapti dhirastattanam. There are many examples. Just like in a nice cage, in a golden cage, there is a bird. If you don't give any food to the bird and simply wash the cage very nicely, there will be always chee, 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 chee. Why? The real bird is neglected, simply outward covering. So, similarly, I am spirit soul. That I forgot. Aham brahmasmi. I am Brahma. I am not this body, not this mind. So people are trying to burnish the body and mind. First of all, they try to burnish the body. This is material civilization. Very nice clothing, very nice soap, very nice apartment, very nice car, very nice sense enjoyment, everything very nice. But that is to the body. And when one is frustrated to this very nice arrangement, then he goes to the mind. Poetry, mental speculation, LSD, marijuana, drinking, and so many things. These are all mental. Actually, happiness is not there in the body nor in the mind. Real happiness is in the spirit. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, Sukham atmantikam jat tat atindriya grahyam. The real the ultimate happiness is that which is beyond this material sense. Atmantikam jat tat atindriya. Atindriya means, indriya means the senses, transcendental to the senses. That means that's spiritual. There are many instructions and practical also. So, unless we go to the spiritual platform, uh, we cannot have actual happiness. That is the instruction Prahlad Maharaj is giving, that sukham indriyakam daitya deha yogina dihina. This happiness perceived by contact of senses or contact of body, sukham indriyakam. Our present appreciation of happiness is due to the senses. And these particular senses are according to the particular body. Deha yogina dihina. The other day we have explained that a hog, because he has got a particular type of body, his sense gratification is to eat stool. His body is so made that he will feel happy by eating stool. Similarly, another man, his body is so made that he will be happy to have Krishna Prasad. So that we can make. By Krishna consciousness, can change the habit of the body. That is possible. How it is possible? By knowledge. The hog cannot be educated. His body is so condemned that it is not possible to educate the hog or the dog or the cat or the animal. Here is a body. By education, one can become from doggy's habit to God's habit. That is possible. So we have to take advantage. That is explained in the first verse by Dullabam manasam janma tadopi adurvam arthadam. This human form of body, it is very rarely obtained. It is not to be misused. That is the first knowledge. That people are not educated in that way. They are encouraged that go on sense enjoyment, enjoy. Some rascal comes, he also says, all right, go on, enjoy. Simply meditate for 15 minutes. But actually, this body is not meant for aggravating sense enjoyment. We require sense enjoyment because that is a demand of the body. If we want to keep body in healthy condition, then the demands of the body, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending must be provided. But it should not be aggravated. Therefore, in the human form of life, tapasya means austerity, penance, vow. These are the teachings of all scriptures. Either you take Hindu scripture or Christian scripture or Mohammedan scripture, in every scripture, human form of life is meant for training. Tapo Divyam, Lord Rishabha, he instructed his boy, he had 100 children, boys. So he instructed them, Nayang deho bhajang niloke kastan kaman arhati bir bhujang ji. My dear boys, this form, human form of life, although it is a body, but this body is in human society. Nayang deho bhajang niloke. Niloke means ni means man. So, when the body is obtained in the human society, not in the dog society, not in the cat society, that body is not meant for simply working very hard and ultimate sense gratification. That's all. People are being taught in this way, that work very hard, day and night, earn money and enjoy sense. Nothing more. Oh. So, this sort of civilization is condemned. The real civilization is that one has to control. Control. What is the difference between a man and an animal? Now suppose there is very nice foodstuff. In your country it is not seen. In our India, the foodstuff, confectioner, they very nicely decorate in the street for selling. So one cow is here, of course, in the street. Cow is also not visible. In India, in the street, there are many cows. They are allowed to move free. And sometimes the foodstuff is there and the cow immediately grasps the foodstuff and eats half of it. Now, there are human beings also. Suppose a man is there, he is poor man, he is hungry, and he wants to eat that foodstuff. But because he is human being, he has got the control. He is not like the, cow that immediately takes out the foodstuff. Even if he is poor, he can beg, my dear sir, can you spare little foodstuff? But he will not. This is humanity. Suppose if there is a beautiful girl and one man is attracted, still he will feel shame to capture that girl. Of course, here I see the boys and girls, they are kissing in the street. In India it is very uncivil. No boy, no girls will do that. Because it is a training. It is a training. So by training, one can restrain the senses. And the more you restrain your senses, the more you become slackened for these material shackles. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says that if you think that sense enjoyment is the pleasure of life, that can be had in all sorts of other bodies. The hog also has got sense enjoyment, the dog also has got sense enjoyment. They are not forbidden. Nature has provided sense enjoyment for cats, dogs, and birds, beasts, everyone, because there is a demand. So, human life, of course, this should be restricted or as much as possible as it is available without any extraneous endeavor. Just like we allow our students, get yourself married, by grace of Krishna, the wife or the husband which you have, just live peacefully. But don't try to encroach upon others' wife or others' husband. That should be restrained. That is humanity. So, we have to live very peacefully so that we may not be disturbed in our material existence, but our ultimate aim should be spiritual realization. Sukhamanditkam daitya deha yogina de sarvatra labdhati. If you are after sense enjoyment, sarvatra means in all species of life. Suppose you happen to get a body, next body, as a hog, as a dog, or even lower than that sense enjoyment will be there. But this opportunity will not be there. This opportunity to make yourself Krishna conscious, and just to leave this a condemned place and go back to Godhead, that opportunity will not be there. That opportunity is for the human being. That's what Prahlad Maharaj says, tat prayasana kartabya jatu jatra ayudvayo param. Therefore, we should not simply waste our time for improving the paraphernalia of sense enjoyment. The modern civilization is simply increasing the paraphernalia of sense enjoyment. There is no arrangement for advancement of spiritual knowledge. That is the defect of modern civilization. And Prahlad Maharaj says that sarvatra labhate daivat jatha dukkham asatnata tat prayasana kartabya jatra ayudvayo param. If you waste our time, every one of us should always be conscious that this human form of life, although the body is material and there are so many material demands, so we have to think, we have to adjust things in such a way that my major portion of my attention or energy may be employed for advancing spiritual consciousness of Krishna consciousness. That should be the motto of our life. Because we have got limited energy, limited life. Suppose you have to live for 100 years. I think nobody is going to live for 100 years. But supposing if you live for 100 years, so your energy is limited. Your duration of life is limited. Suppose I am an old man. If I have to live for, say, 80 years and 90 years, so 72 years I am now. That means I have already died 72 years. The balance portion of my life I have to complete. We are dying every moment. That is medical science. We are changing every moment body and then dying every moment. Death is accompanying me from the day of my birth. This child, if you ask, how old this child? Oh, it is 1 month. That means he has already died 1 month. 1 month, death is already there. We say that he is growing. No, he is decreasing. Decreasing. Actual fact is decreasing. Therefore, we should not waste our time. We should be very serious about our life. The Prahlad Maharaj says, tat prayasana tattabha jatva ayudvayo param. Ayu means duration of life. Simply wasted. Simply wasted. Why simply wasted? Because for sense enjoyment, whatever you are to get, that is already arranged. If you are a cat, your sense enjoyment is already arranged. If you are a dog, your sense enjoyment is already arranged. Similarly, if you are a human being, your sense enjoyment. If a cat can have sense enjoyment without arranging for it, if a dog can have sense enjoyment without arranging for it, do you think that a human being will not have sense enjoyment without arranging for it? Then why should you waste your time for sense enjoyment? The arrangement is already there by nature. A man or woman has to satisfy his senses. By nature there is arrangement. Rest assured. Don't waste your time for improving sense enjoyment. That means wasting time. You cannot get more than what is destined to you. A dog or a cat cannot get more sense enjoyment than his body will allow. Similarly, we have got particular type of body. According to our association with different modes of material nature, now we have got, say, about 100 men or 50 or 60 men sitting here. Nobody's body will be just equal to the other's body. You examine, everybody is different from others' body. Nobody's face will be exactly the face of the other man. So, by nature's process, the subtle law is such nice that according to the association of the modes of material nature, you have got a particular type of body. That means you are meant for a particular standard of sense enjoyment. Suppose your body is born in a low family, or you cannot expect sense enjoyment as the higher grade person they enjoy. That's not possible. So one should be satisfied. Oh, Krishna has given me this body, and he has given me this arrangement of sense enjoyment, let me be satisfied. My real business is how to advance my Krishna consciousness. So Prahlad Maharaj advises very nicely, my dear friend, tat prayasana kartabba jato ayut vayo param. Don't exert yourself for increasing the paraphernalia of sense enjoyment. That is simply wasting your valuable time, your valuable duration of life. Because we must know the duration of life is limited. That will finish as sure as death. And before death comes again, we must prepare in such a nice way. No more death, no more birth. Oh. That is education. Therefore Bhagavad says that he is not a spiritual master, he is not a father, he is not a mother, he is not a friend. In this way, he is not an husband who cannot protect his word from the impending death. That means the father, the spiritual master, the husband or the protector should be so spiritually advanced that he will teach his word in such a nice way that no more birth, no more death. In this life, Krishna consciousness education is finished, so that after leaving this body, tattadiham punarjanma naiti. After quitting this body, no more birth again. Then what is that? Tattadiham punarjanma naiti mamiti kuntya. He goes back to God. This should be the objective of human life. How to develop Krishna consciousness and how to get away from this uncongenial atmosphere of material existence. Unless we understand that better people, they think that they are very happy. This is illusion. This is Maya. Tat prayasana kartabba jata isparma na tatha vinnave chimam mukunda charanambujam. Yes. So, Prahlad Maharaj says, na tatha vinnate chimam. Chimam means auspicity. The highest auspicity of life is to reconnect His lost relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Krishna. This is called yoga. The real yoga means this, that we are, at the present moment, we have lost our consciousness. Not actually we have lost our consciousness, we have lost our memory. Consciousness is there, but consciousness may be differently contaminated. Different person, your consciousness may be different from my consciousness. You are thinking in a different way, I am thinking in different way. Similarly, consciousness is there. That is the symptom of life, since our spirit soul. But the difference is due to material contamination. Just like superficially, your blood and my blood, the same, red. But if we analyze, there may be so many chemicals present in your blood and so many chemicals may be present which is not exactly equal. Similarly, as soon as there is life and there is spirit, soul, the focus of the spirit soul consciousness must be there. I am present in this body, how I can understand? Because this consciousness, you pinch any part of your body, you feel, this is your consciousness. That means I am present in this body. And as soon as I am away from this body, you may cut this body into pieces, there will be no consciousness, there is no feeling. So, our consciousness should be purified. Now the consciousness is contaminated by material association in so many ways. Just like the blood purification tonic is given. If the doctor finds by examination of the blood in your country, as soon as you go to a doctor, immediately, please offer your blood. The demand is immediately blood. That is of course scientific, a modern science. But according to Ayurvedic system, there is no demand of blood. They feel the pulse. And according to the different, movement of the pulse, they can understand what kind of disease is there. All right, that is a medical science. So anyway, Prahlad Maharaj says, Natatha vinnate chimam. Instead of wasting your time for increasing the standard of sense gratification, the best thing will be to apply your energy for reviving your original Krishna consciousness. Natatha vindate chema mukunda charanambujam. Natatha vindate chema mukunda charanambujam. Tat prayasa kartam. That endeavor should be done, by which your time is not wasted, but you can revive, you can purify your consciousness, you can revive yourself to your original position, and that is your highest gain. Tato jateta kusala chemaya bhavamasrita sarirang purusang jaman lo vipaddete puskalam. My dear friends, therefore, so long the body is not fallen, or so long death does not come, sarirang, so tato jateta kusala, you must try for the highest benediction. Kusala. Kusala means benediction. So long you are in this body, please try to achieve that success. Full Krishna consciousness. Pumsa varsha satang dhyayu tad ardham cha ajitatmanaha. Now, supposing that we have got 100 years of age. Now, Prahlad Maharaj says that although you have got 100 years to live, but because we cannot control our senses, therefore it should be taken half, 50 years. Why? Because